Hello, everyone, and welcome to Essential Oils and the Emotions. My name is Mika Leon Pettit, and I will be your teacher today. All possibilities open to you when you learn to manage your emotions. There are so many things in your life that changes when you are not controlled by your emotions. It opens you up for manifesting pretty much anything you desire. And it just opens you up for a whole new life when you know how to manage what is normally controlling at least 80 to 90% of your daily life. In this class, you will learn the science behind emotions and essential oils, how essential oils affect the emotions, tools for healthy chemistry balance, ways to incorporate essential oils for emotional balance in your life and the lives of others, and creating emotional and emotions management system. Our body is made up of intelligent cells that want to restore themselves and live in a state of balance or homeostasis. The body releases various chemicals in response to emotions. When the body releases serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, it results in uplifting emotions and positive sensations in the body. Endorphins, which are like self made morphine, or must be available to our system for coping when challenges arise. Endorphins serve us not only in our ability to experience pleasure, but also to give a buffer from physical and emotional pain. Emotional stress, rather acute or chronic, can wreak havoc on the body and the relationships in your life. Headaches, digestive issues, lack of sleep, and heart disease, to name a few, can be the result of emotional upsets. So, understanding our emotions, it's like a navigation system for us. It can guide us through life, and it's a part of telling us whether something is healthy for us and our bodies, our environment, or if it's not. While being in a physical body, you cannot get rid of emotions. So it doesn't help to pretend and bury your emotions because they emerge at inappropriate times and out of reactionary responses that have been programmed years prior to the current emotional event you may be experiencing. So, as mentioned a little bit before, it's about at least 90% we're acting on unconsciously on a regular basis. It's subconscious things that can even be there from our childhood. And if we just react how we're just used to reacting without thinking or taking time to feel what we're feeling, we just respond like we would respond 10, 15 years ago, and nothing ever changes. What we can do is manage our emotions, and we can do it with essential oils. And it's very amazing at doing this because when we manage our emotions and they flow throughout our body, you feel a sense of well-being, and everything, like I said, is easier and it changes. So I found this quote here while I was researching by Martha Beck. And it says, emotional discomfort, when accepted, rises, crests, and falls in a series of waves. Each wave washes a part of us away and deposits treasures we never imagined. Out goes naivete, in comes wisdom. Out goes anger, in comes discernment. Out goes despair, in comes kindness. No one would call it easy, but the rhythm of emotional pain that we learn to tolerate is natural, constructive, expansive. The pain leaves you healthier than you found it. Thought this was an interesting quote. I am not sure if all of our emotional pains, if I agree with all of our emotional pains being natural. I believe that some of it is just an inherited part of being birthed into a world of imbalances and a disconnect that we are naturally born into and we have no control over. So I believe some of it has been caused by our environment. But I do believe if we naturally flow with and work through our emotions, yes, it can definitely leave us healthier than before. So, the types of emotions we may want to alter or change. We may be feeling anxiety on a regular basis, grief, sadness, depression, feel like you're being oppressed, whether you're at home or work, confused, blocked, rejection, drained, even frustrated. It's some of the emotions. And we may even go through all of these emotions in a day. And how do you manage that? It's just so much. It can be so challenging. These are some of the feelings that come from healthy emotions. You feel reassured, things are going to work out. You feel connected to the earth, your environment, others. You feel courageous, like you can just do anything. You feel worthy of everything that you have and what you can create. You feel supported in your life. You feel you have those right friends and connections. You feel loved, even by yourself mostly, and then outward and inward with your spirit and higher self. Open minded, and you're more willing to listen to others and see other points of views and learn and expand yourself. You're more accepting of how things are, which also makes things easier on your emotions and makes things easier to flow with life. And feeling renewed, like when you get up and you start a day, you're starting a fresh day, clean slate, and you're ready to begin again. Things that can have a direct impact on the emotions are things like your environment, of course, food, stimulants like excitotoxins. And if anyone has been in the health and wellness industry for a while, you've probably heard of excitotoxins years ago. It's like food additives that are being added to the food to make you crave them and want them more. And they actually pass through the blood-brain barrier. So they actually affect you, the way you think about eating, the way you think about whatever you're consuming and how much you consume of it. Drugs and, and digestives, to name a few. So the gut is considered the body's second brain because of its impact on the mood states. So you may hear people over the years have said, you probably may not want to eat when you're upset, angry, stomach's in a knot because you're nervous. Because there's lots of neurotransmitters. There's actually more neurotransmitters in the gut than there are in the brain. So healthy mood management depends on how well these neurotransmitters relay messages to each other. Many researchers believe that physical illness are often an emotional inflammatory response to negative experiences, memories, trauma, and painful emotions get stored in the body and eventually manifest as physical inflammation. Most people don't realize the toll that unchecked, unconscious, self-sabotaging emotions can express, like in the immune system disorders, cell malfunctions, and organ failures. So, what feelings or vibrations of emotions are you transmitting on a regular basis out into the world? It's definitely something to think about because it affects you in so many ways and so many levels. And this is why I believe many people try to figure out why they don't have in their life what they desire or why it's so challenging to create and do the things that they actually want to do. A lot of this has to do with your emotions because your emotions are also energy that you're putting out as a signal or a frequency into your environment. So the importance of emotions management. Emotions are the language of the body. So it gives you a feeling on whether you want to do something, whether you want to be around a person, whether you want to stay at a job. These are just ideas and how you feel in general about your day and yourself. So they want you to understand and communicate to you in each moment. So they're constantly, if you're aware and in the present, your emotions are constantly communicating to you. Emotions are information carrying molecules that bind to and react with cell receptors. They go into them, impacting function and the behavior. So emotions in its basic form are chemical molecules. The amygdala is a storehouse of trauma and is constantly on the lookout for danger and threats, like in fight and flight. The sense of smell is the primary sense that unconsciously activates and affects traumatic memories stored there. So that's right. What your smell, your sense of smell being your oldest sense organ, it unconsciously activates traumatic memories. So you may not realize in the moment that you are thinking about something that was traumatizing to you in the past, but your mind knows it and activates it regardless of whether you're aware of it or not. So we're going to look at the fourth chakra, the emotional center. As Carolyn Miss calls it, it's the center of life. So when you look at that fourth chakra, it connects your first three chakras, your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus, along with the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra, back to the heart. And that's where you activate and that's where you live from and you vibrate from that center. Well, I believe that negative emotions, because of this, immediately hurts the heart and spread that throughout the body and the auric field. So the healthier and happier your emotions are, the better your heart and overall health will be. For example, I've seen somewhere that to be healthy, we should have about 22 hugs a day and about 17 big laughs or chuckles. And I say hug and laugh as much as possible. And the more you get, the more oxytocin you release, endorphins, and that's going to help with your overall wellness in general. Emotions are processed throughout the body in three areas called the three brains. So, in the brain, this is where 90% of our behaviors are directed by the subconscious thoughts, like I mentioned earlier. In the heart, this is where more neural pathways from the heart to the brain than the brain to the heart. So that tells you right there, the heart is the leading organ, not the brain. The heart tells you how to move through life, what's going to be the best direction for you to take. And so it has way more neural pathways. It actually says the vibration and the frequency that comes from the heart is actually, I believe, 60 times. And this is what I've seen over the years. Could be more, could be less, 60 times stronger than the brain. So that also gives you an inclination how important the heart is overall in connection to the body and how the body functions and how the body operates. And 90% of the serotonin involved in mood management is produced in the gut. So unhealthy flora, bacteria in the gut means less serotonin to produce happy moods. The three brains influence and communicate with each other. Each brain can send out its own messages. Conflicting messages from the different brains can cause a disruption in the internal balance and cause disease. So for mood management, exercise is always an excellent thing to do. It keeps the body moving, it activates everybody. You always feel better after doing some kind of movement or exercise. Meditation is another way to manage the moods. It helps you to slow down. It helps you to think before you respond and think before you act, and in the best way possible. Lots of water, of course, because it moves any toxic debris, excitotoxins, anything that might be in the system that may interfere with your mood. It flushes it out. Getting your rest always sets you up to be a better person and go through your day feeling better, because when you're rested and your brain can rest and your body can rest, you feel and you look better. So you will naturally be in a better mood. Veggies, especially concentrated greens. This is even around women's cycles. Wheatgrass, spirulina, chlorella, spinach, kale, broccoli, any deep concentrated greens that you can get in as much as possible helps to keep the mood in balance and clear out any toxic debris that also may affect the mood. Limiting chemical stimulants. So not getting too dependent on chemical stimulants to be able to manage your moods is also a great idea. And if you do the things above that I mentioned, you won't need to have extra chemical stimulants to your lifestyle in order to be able to manage your moods. Controlling your external environment. It's very important with the decide what kind of people, entertainment, and things. It's all energetic. And so you want to make sure that your environment is conducive to good emotions, balanced emotions as much as possible. And if it's not, you want to work on ways to figure out how you can change and correct that to make your life more balanced and things won't be putting your moods out of management. And I think a lot of times people forget this because they're around other people and you are merging your energy with other people. And what you watch also determines your moods, and it affects you and how you're going to go throughout your day and what you're going to think about and what you're going to process over and over again through your mind. Remember, it's all energetic. So we get to now understanding essential oils. Aroma, emotions, and memory are inextricably linked. Aroma molecules set into action the limbic system, which is a complex network of structures and nerves constituting a neuronal circuit, which we find our scent for emotions a crucial place for memory. Through the limbic system, the hypothalamus and the pituitary glands are stimulated, causing interactions in the autonomic nervous system and the endocrine system, thus exerting an influence on nerves, hormones, body temperature, insulin production, appetite, thirst, digestion, stress, repulsion, sexual arousal, and sex itself. The limbic system also connects with the thymus neocortex, giving aromas the ability to affect conscious thought and reaction. It is a link between the voluntary and the involuntary nervous centers and a link between the left and right brain. Essential oils connect directly into the system through the olfactory bulbs. And here I have a video. I have a little clip here of the olfactory bulb. You can see here as the aroma enters, and you have the amygdala in the middle, and you have the hypothalamus here in the back. This is also part of the limbic brain back here. But as you can see, they're all close to each other. The pituitary gland is in here, and they're all somehow interacting and easily connected by aroma. Essential oils and the many possibilities. Essential oils is a form of plant medicine that has been used throughout the world for millennia and is one of nature's most powerful systems for our lives. It's very supportive in so many ways. Since they are derived from large amounts of plant material that is distilled, dissolved, or extracted, they're extremely concentrated. So essential oils are derived from flowers, leaves, barks, roots, fruits, seeds, grasses, and resins. Some studies found that essential oils have the highest biofrequency of any consumable natural substance. So, yes, I've heard this many years ago when I took my aromatherapy certification that plants naturally have a high frequency. So, when you concentrate them into essential oils, which is thousands of pounds of plant material, and you're talking about ounces of oil, you have an extremely high frequency vibrational product to use in your atmosphere to change and alter and set the total different vibration that you want to have. So a high vibration of frequencies, it can be easily shift and well-being of the body and bring it into a place closer to homeostasis using essential oils. I can't say enough about them. I've been using essential oils for over 20 years, and I have been using them in my life on a regular basis, like every day in some form, in multiple forms, every day for at least 5.5 years now. The effects of essential oils on the emotions. Our sense of smell is our most primal way of experiencing the world and exerts a powerful influence over our thoughts, moods, memories, and behaviors. Our sense of smell also plays an important role in what is safe and what is pleasurable. It helps us learn from our experiences. A healthy human nose can distinguish over 1 trillion different aromas through hundreds of distinct classes of smell receptors. So, olfaction, or the sense of smell, is far more complex than sight. We are also 10,000 times more capable of smelling than tasting. I thought that was very, very interesting that we could smell 10 times more capable than we can actually taste something. That says a lot when you think of our senses and what we think we're more connected to. So essential oils and human beings have a lot in common. Essential oils come from plants. Human being human beings and plants are related because all living organisms are descended from the same single cell line. The chemical composition of the DNA in plants and people are virtually the same. So neurobiologist Donald Kennedy did a detailed study and came to the conclusion that there is very little difference. He compared tissues from a spruce tree and a moose. The similar chemical composition of plants and humans may explain why essential oils seem to act like keys to physical and mental functions of our body. I had a really great book. It was a German book on people and plants and how we relate, and I lost it over the years, or I would have used it in this presentation, but it was very, very informative how close we are. And it makes sense because plants are our main source of food, and it also is our main source of oxygen. So it makes sense that we're very connected in those ways to the plant kingdom. There are about 500,000 species of flora. About 300 produce essential oils. Scents are experienced long before words can change nervous systems biochemistry. So essential oils are powerful biochemical agents that have the capacity for toxic release, which can be paired or partnered with any holistic or medically derived program. Essential oils enter the bloodstream, find the work they need to do in the body, then they leave by being excreted from the body. So I learned years ago with essential oils, the great thing about them, they usually are not counterproductive or contraindicated with other forms of healing and methods because they just go in, they have such a synchronicity with our body. They know where they need to go, they know what they need to do, they do it, and then they leave. And they get excreted out through the urine, through our breath, through our skin, feces, you name it. Essential oils have the ability to pass through the blood-brain barrier. Not too many things can do this. To affect the brain in a way that most things cannot. Terpenes and terpenoids, which make up the majority of hydrocarbons in essential oils, are small, fat-soluble organic molecules. Due to their small size and lipophilic properties, some terpenes, which means basically fat, have a fat layer around them. Some terpenes can absorb into the bloodstream and cross the blood-brain barrier. Oils like frankincense, patchouli, and sandalwood has high concentrations of sesquiterpenes molecules, and that's what causes them to be able to cross the blood-brain barrier. Have been chemically demonstrated to do this. These molecules have significant amounts of oxygen, supporting effects on the brain, and when combined with aromatic stimulation of aromatherapy, it can consist, it assists the amygdala. So, essential oils have the ability to pass through the blood-brain barrier to affect the brain in a way that most things cannot. Terpenes and terpenoids, which make up the majority of hydrocarbons in essential oils, are small, fat-soluble organic molecules. Due to their small size and lipophilic properties, which mean oil retracting, some terpenes can absorb into the bloodstream and cross the blood-brain barrier. Oils like frankincense, patchouli, and sandalwood has high concentrations of sesquiterpenes molecules that have been clinically demonstrated to cross the blood-brain barrier. These molecules have significant amounts of oxygen supporting effects on the brain, and when combined with aromatic stimulation or aromatherapy, it can assist the amygdala in releasing the effects of stored memories. So yes, when they cross the blood-brain barrier, they can go in and they can actually release memories that you've been holding on to for years. Here are some of the mental and emotional benefits that essential oils have. They reduce stress, anxiety, and tension, helps mental and muscle fatigue, help with sleep, facilitate the release of stuck emotions, uplift the mood, calms the central nervous system, increases feelings of determination, happiness, courage, and it helps with DNA expression. So you would hear about people say that sometimes a gene may be turned off or it can't express itself. Well, essential oils can help DNA to reactivate itself and express its potential, its full potential, so it can be used to help you to do what you need to do in life and for your true purpose. I believe everybody here has a purpose that is detached from their mundane life of being a person, having kids, having a job, and going through your mundane life. There's actually a spiritual attachment to your DNA expression of your spirit and your higher self. And it's here to do a particular job and mission in this life to move forward and to ascend itself to another layer of evolution. And essential oils, I definitely believe, help with that. I've seen it in my own life. So we're going to go in now to the personality types of essential oils. Yes, essential oils have personalities like we do. The goal is to find harmony between you and the oils you choose. We can do this by looking at essential oil personality types. It's found that issues clear more quickly this way. It is also beneficial on all levels, mind, body, and spirit. There are 9 personalities, and some may fall into more than one category because different parts of the plant may have been used. These personalities are not to box you into characteristics. It is to use the essential oil in the personality category you need when you need it. Most of us are a blend of several or all personality groups. This opens you up to having more tools to use to get the mood you want to be in immediately. So for instance, you wake up and you're not feeling your normal, happy, ready to go. You're actually feeling a little sluggish, maybe a little tired, brain fog, and you feel like it's just going to be a day where you're going to have to move a little slower. So what can you do about that? So you can look for oils or the personality types that will cheer you up, that will get you in a more alert, active, happy state. You can also blend that along with something that will make you more alert, more centered. And if you have a lot of work to do that day, you may also need to focus. So what oils and what personalities would have that? What you would do is you would blend those and you will take them, and we'll talk about the different methods of use in one of the videos as we go along. You'll watch the video and you can use it in your life in whichever way you feel will work for you at the time. And that's how you use the personalities. You may also want to use the personalities to enhance your personality. So, for example, if you're normally a cheerful person and you like that about yourself and you want to express that because you're having an event, you want people to feel like excited, and you want people to be alert and involved and engaged. So, and when people are attracted to that personality in you, you can also put that energy out in the room. I would advise you to let people know that you are using the essential oils because some people are allergic, but you can put that energy and that vibe out into the room and share that with other people and keep that vibe going for as long as you need to while doing your presentation or your event. So let's go. We're going to talk about the 9 personalities and corresponding oils with those 9 personalities. I put some here, and it is suggested that you create a blend for each personality. For example, a synergy blend of 4 florals, or you can use all the florals, fruities, herbies, etc. Excellent for wanting to ground the energy of a particular personality quickly. So, okay, here I'm going to take you through the 9 personality type of essential oils. I have the book listed in the end of the class. It's one of my favorite books of all times. I found it years ago, and I've never found any other essential oil information that had these personalities in it. And I just think that they are amazing to help with understanding where you'd want to go, especially if you're someone, there's so many essential oils. And if you're someone that's just starting out, how do you start out with these? So I've listed a few here in these different categories to give you a starting point, and then you can go from there with the references. So let's talk about the florals first. I love them. They're like some of my favorites. And in the floral category, we have chamomile, lavender, helichrysum, jasmine, neroli, rose, ylang ylang. So some of the characteristics of personality traits of the florals are flirtatious, romantic, caring, vulnerable, friendly, image conscious, successful, and an exhibitionist. So you could look at these different traits and say, yes, how do I want to feel today? And add one of these oils. Or you can use all the oils like they were saying before that they recommend, she actually recommends in her book, and actually do all of the categories, the personality traits with their own collection of oils. So let's go into the fruities next. And here we have bergamot, clove, grapefruit, lime, mandarin, orange, and tangerine. Fruities are also some of my favorites. And I want to mention this here with the fruities because I use a lot of citrus and my water. And of course, only therapeutic grade oils will do, especially no matter whether you're going to put it on your skin or whether you're ingesting it. And plastics. The plastics that we are surrounded by, along with lots of other chemicals in our environment, will affect your mood. So I put it in my water to help with any plastic residue or anything that might be in my body. So with the fruities, personality traits are like self-confident, emotionally secure, engaging, balanced, artistic, passionate, sensuous, and empathic. Now we're going to take a look at the herbies. And we have with the herbies, we've got some basil, clary sage, geranium, peppermint, oregano, rosemary, and lemon. Some of the personality traits of the herbies are compassionate, charitable, welcoming, down to earth, motherly or fatherly, just nurturing, and well-intentioned. And the leafy family, the leafies. We have birch, cinnamon, cypress, eucalyptus, patchouli, which is one of my favorites, petitgrain, pine, tea tree. I also want to mention here with leafies, I believe patchouli has gotten a bad rep over the decades, and I would highly suggest trying patchouli, pure patchouli from a reputable source, and trying it again alone first. Inhaling it deep, it's very earthy and grounding. So if you're someone that feels scattered or out of balance, you get out of balance really easy, I love patchouli, inhaling it straight from the bottle, rubbing it into my hand and being able to smell it throughout the day, rubbing it on the feet, ground you into the earth. It's excellent. And even for meditation. Some of the benefits, personality-wise, of these essential oils are thoughtful, logic, introspective, imaginative, refreshing, vulnerable, complicated. We get to the resonances here, and I'm sorry that you cannot see because I'm sharing my screen. They're called the resonances. And we have here, they're the thicker oils, syrupy. The bottles get sticky, and they're very, very great for preserving the skin. These are the oils, the anti-aging oils, and they're just amazing. I've used all of them over the years, and you probably know a few here. Benzoin and Peru balsam has a very sweet, and it's sticky, almost like an ambery type smell, actually. Alimi, frankincense, myrrh, of course, baby Jesus oils, as my daughter would call them. Those have been popular over the years, and myrrh, of course, has also been used as an embalming, preserving type oil for ancient Egypt and the pharaohs and the mummies. And so some of the characteristics which make sense that you find with these resonanese oils is the efficient, strong-willed, knowledgeable, persistent, workaholic, high-minded. I also find that these have a lot of wisdom to them as well. Wise oils, I like to call them. So they're another good one to have meditations with. They probably will give you information, tell you things that'll be for your higher good, help you to see things differently with your life. Now we go into the Rudies. And we have with the Rudies, Angelica, Ginger, Spikenard, which is an interesting smell, and it goes along with one of those ancient wise oils like frankincense and myrrh. Usually, sometimes you will see spikenard put in that group along with those oils. Oh, turmeric and vetiver. Vetiver is another really great Rudy oil that I absolutely love to use. It's very, very grounding for people who are always in the mind, mental, running around like a head with no body. Those oils, a combination of vetiver, frankincense, myrrh, benzoin, may even drop a spikenard in there, and ground with those, be out in nature, earth with those oils. Yeah, they're amazing. Easygoing is some of the characteristics. Good listeners, people pleasers, they're modest, environmentalists, and original. Now we're going to get to the CDs. The CDs are coriander, cumin, dill, fennel, nutmeg, parsley seed, or some of the CDs that I've mentioned here, and creativity, so creative, self-assured, spiritual, misunderstood, self-sacrificing, intuitive, even-tempered. And you can see which ones stand out to you the most, and then start with that one. In this category, I've used on occasion dill, and I've also used on occasion fennel. A lot of times I use the fennel too. It's a really good woman's oil for hormones and balancing. It's also really good in toning to the skin, so for facials and body toning. And I can see very much in it. I do feel even-tempered, self-assured. I even feel like I get some creativity or a jolt of being creative out of using fennel as well. Now we're going to move into the spices. So black pepper, which I use on a regular basis. I use it mostly for circulation and stimulation. Cinnamon is also a good treat. to use ginger. I use a lot of ginger, mace, nutmeg, and turmeric. And the characteristics for these guys are like extroverted, entrepreneurial, pleasure seeker, entertaining, emotional, willful, status seeking. So this is a good one to spice things up in your business. You want to be seen. It's time to step out. Um, and you want to make a good impression. They're very stimulating, all of them, and most of them actually here, except for the mace and the turmeric, I was going to say, also can be used to spice up your tea, and can be used in a chai blend. So if you're somebody who wants to get your essential oil in that way, or even the spices, you'd have to obviously eat more if it's actually in its regular form. But if it's an essential oil, you can make a big batch of it, and one drop would be all you would need to get that effect, especially if you're someone who wants to try it in a different form. And last but definitely not least, and our 9 personality types of essential oils, we have the woodsies. So cedar wood, which I love as well, very grounding. Any type of ritual, ceremonial, earthing, balancing type of centering situation, that's what I use it for. Rosewood, also very peaceful to me. Sandalwood, spruce, cinnamon also again. And as you can see here, some oils cross over into other personality categories. And that's just the way nature works, because most oils do many different things for the body, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So they do cross over, and just like we do, we cross over in different ways with what we have in our bodies, the way we think. A lot of it is a well-rounded part of ourselves, not just one part or one aspect of ourselves. So everything in nature usually corresponds with that. It kind of gives you different ways and multiple ways of use. And that's one of the things that I love about essential oils, because there's so many different ways to add it to your life, to enhance your life, and it can work on so many different levels. So you're getting the benefits of the personality traits that can help with your emotion, along with all the other healing qualities that goes along with that. So we get to use this knowledge to choose the mood we want to feel, instead of feeling like our moods are happening to us. And we have no control over them, which we do. But I know when you don't know what to do, that's exactly how it feels. It feels like your emotions are managing you, instead of you being able to stop and manage your emotions or switch and change into another mode. With essential oils, we have a natural, effective way to manage our emotions. So how do we accomplish this? Emotional healing and mood management can be accomplished when a new stimulus is introduced to the same wiring in the brain. So that means even wiring that's been there since you've been a child, when you introduce this new stimuli, this new aroma that has a particular chemical molecule to interact with that memory, it changes the wiring in the brain. Depending on what aroma is introduced and what the information or constituents of that oil is, determines the brain's response. For instance, traumatic memories stored in the amygdala can be released by utilizing the sense of smell and essential oils. They can aid the healing process to help us shift out of old, non-helpful habits and ineffective coping patterns. that we've developed over the years to deal with our life situations. That also affects the mood. We don't realize it in the moment because we do it so fast, but coping patterns and coping mechanisms to deal with life and society and how you interact with others is definitely an emotional stress that most of us go through unless we are totally ourselves, totally present, and being true to who we are, and which is challenging because of all these different layers of emotions and all these different layers of personality levels that we've built up over ourselves. You have to peel those layers back and peel them off. And that's how you get rid of these coping patterns that have been there for years, because they're not actually you. They're just how you handle things in the moment because you figured a long time ago that was the best way for you to handle that situation. Those turn into coping patterns that stay stored like memories in the amygdala, and they can be released. So you are releasing the significance of the trauma or coping patterns or the charge that was stored. So it is not reactivated over and over again. So our bodies can feel like they're going through trauma over and over again. Our subconscious hits or little pings get splattered onto our auric field because of the fact that we are subconsciously producing these things over and over again without knowing that we are. So now we're going to watch a video about the ways to use essential oils for emotional support and how you can build your emotional management system.
Let's go into some of the ways to use essential oils for emotional support and how you can build your emotions management system. I use essential oils in my life in some way every day, and I'm going to go into some of those methods with you. I highly suggest, well, actually, the only way I suggest is that you use therapeutic grade essential oils for the results that we're talking about here. You want to make sure that all the constituents that need to be in that oil is there to do the healing that it needs to do. Now, of course, essential oils can do multiple things. They're multitaskers. They can do multiple things in the body simultaneously. So you can also create a synergistic blend between a few of these guys for your particular situation or something that you're interested in at working on at that time. And what that does is these three combined, instead of one using one here, using one there, then using one in the evening, when you combine the three, they create something totally new, something that is totally much more um, synergistically to balance out all parts of what you're trying to do. It creates something entirely new and transformative. So I suggest you can try like one to start out, and if you're comfortable creating some more, you can use the handout. I'm going to have some recipes and some of my favorite blends in the handout that you can go into and look and see what you like and go from there. But some of my favorites are the citruses. The citruses are the happy, cheerful oils. They're great pick-me-ups. I put them in my water as well. And I also like some of the earthy, woodsy oils like the vetivers and the cedar woods, the heavier oils. And those guys feel like they ground me and root me, so I like to put those on my feet as well. One of the best ways, of course, as an aromatherapy is inhalation of essential oils through the olfactory system, is to inhale directly from the bottle. Inhalation of essential oils is one of the most effective ways of impacting the brain for emotional well-being. It's also the quickest on-the-go method. So you can either just do it directly through the bottle or take a drop and put it in the hand and rub your hands together and cup them and inhale. I love this method for quick pulling it out of your bag, and it works really fast. You can also diffuse, as you see the diffuser here going, to balance or change the mood of your environment. You can also use it to keep the air clean and refreshed and healthy in your home. You can also use this to change the environment when you have other people living with you in your home, family members. And give an example. Just say everyone comes home in a different mood. Somebody comes home and they're upset. Somebody comes home and they're angry. Somebody comes home and they're full of cheer. And all these moods are blending in with each other and causing their own little stew. And if you decide, you know what, I think I want the atmosphere, it's almost dinner time, let's make the atmosphere relaxing but happy. A good blend you could put in here might be lavender and orange, or lavender and tangerine, which is excellent together. They smell great, and they also would be really good for the calming and mellowing out all the emotions and all the different personalities that are in the environment. It's very good for in the evening if you want everybody to wind down. You can put on a blend like a chamomile and lavender that is going to wind people down in the evening. So this is a good way to change your environment that people enjoy. Kids even enjoy this. They love essential oils. I even think pets love them too. I find that my pets, or pets that are around me rather, they also are attracted to these oils. Some of them are a little strong for their nose, of course, but they still love them. Lavender you can put on pets directly, usually tea tree as well. So you can change the atmosphere for not only you, but also for your family and your furry babies as well. So spritzers is another one of my favorites that you can take as well on the go, or if you don't want to saturate the whole environment with a diffuser. And also the diffusers come in different sizes, so you can get a smaller one if you only want to affect a smaller space, or you can get one that expands out over 1,000 feet as well, if that's what you choose, or you can get multiple ones. As you can see, I have more than one here on the table. But you can also do spritzers in the environment. You can spritz your body, your aura with them. And actually, when I was in massage school, by the time we were finished with training, I had everyone wanting to get spritzed by me with my essential oil blend. I believe I had rosewood, geranium, maybe even some lavender in there. It's been a while, so it's I don't particularly remember the formula, but I could tell you it was very popular. And I know for sure rosewood and I think geranium was in it. You could also massage it into the skin. So you can make up your own cream base, you can make up your own oil base as well. And you can take and you can do a carrier oil with it. A lot of the essential oils you may want to dilute down. Plus they're so highly concentrated, like we said in the class, you really don't need to overdo it. Plus overdoing it doesn't really help. Essential oils are so powerful, they just go into the cells, do what they need to do, and they come right back out. So it's almost kind of wasteful using more than is needed. You can also take and do reflex points on the hands. As you know, may have known that reflex points are all throughout your hands, your feet. So you can put them on your feet. Say if you've got issues with the head or the neck, you can start massaging the essential oils onto the tips and onto the fingers where it relates to the head and the neck. Or you can do the same thing on the feet. You can also do it on different pulse points, like for instance, there's a blend that I use on my pulse points, on my arms, on my hands, on my neck, wherever you feel is needed. I also like to put them on, rub them on my heart as well. This is also really good for emotional support, to heal the heart. You can add them to your water, especially the citruses. I add to my water all the time. And again, therapeutic grade essential oils, because you want oils that they have like a supplemental facts on it. That can tell you right there if they're ingestible or not. No supplemental fact information, I would not internally use them. And you might want to research internal use of essential oils a little more too. I also use veggie caps. That's another way that I get the essential oils in internally. And I've been using veggie caps for at least 5 years now without any complications. And again, I don't overuse. It's like one drop. And a veggie capsule may have at the most 3 drops in it at a time. So less is always more, and maintain emotional well-being while traveling is also a great idea. Sometimes you can't always take your diffuser, but you can take your spritzer bottle. You may even be able to take some in an oil blend to massage on. You definitely can just take your bottles, your highly concentrated bottles, and just go straight from there and dilute straight from there, or just take a drop out at a time. But you can use them. You want to take them for everything from disinfecting your place, because also if you feel like your place is itchy or crawly or or not hygienic, you may not feel comfortable in it, which also messes with your emotions. For accidents, just keeping you balanced while you're traveling, your sleep patterns may go off, any kind of sickness or anything like that, or headaches, all those things, anything that may cause emotional upset is what we're talking about here with the travel kit. And so you can pack up a little small kit, as small as you need it to be. Take your most important oils with you and your most important blends, and take them on the go to maintain your well-being. And I would also suggest not making, if you're going to make blends of creams and oils, to not mix them up too much at one time. I myself personally, a lot of times, even I use essential oils daily, and a lot of times I use the drop directly from the bottle into whatever I'm using, whether it's aloe vera gel, whether it's some kind of carrier oil, or whether it's some kind of cream or lotion. If I blend it up earlier, I usually only blend enough to last for a few months at the most, and not make big batches, just so that the actual potency and the quality of the essential oil doesn't get diluted down in the process of what it can do, its therapeutic values. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you come up with. How do you put together your emotional management system for your well-being and the well-being of those that are around you?
So that was my video on helping you build your emotions management system. And as you can see, there's many, many ways to do this. And you just have to find what is your favorite way of managing your emotions. Do you like to have spritzers around? Do you like to have a diffuser going on around the house on a regular basis? What can you take in your purse if you're going out for the day to help you get through your day? You can also, I also had a car diffuser, but I couldn't find one that was consistently a really good one that worked for a long period of time. Usually I'd only have them for a few months and then something would happen. But you can still take and put the spritz your car with essential oils. You can rub it on your feet in the morning when you wake up. There's so many different ways to use essential oils. It is amazing and how effective and creative you can be with them. So I would just play with your kit. Keep it small, just in case you need to travel light. Maybe only one spray, one massage oil for maybe in the evening times, or if you have a lot of a cranky baby, aches and pains and things in the evening that you need to calm down and make the mood mellow. You carry the things that you know you and your family, other people around you will need the most. And that's how I would start my mood management kit. I would also take and jot down, okay, how do I want to feel on a daily basis? How do I normally feel on a daily basis? What do usually happens when I get stressed? These are the kind of things that you think about, and these will help guide you to the right essential oils to start using, the ones to go for. Go for it first. If you just want one place to start with what you feel is the most priority thing right now that you want to work on or you want to focus on in your life. Do you want to be more focused and centered? Do you just want to be more happier? Do you want to be more balanced and not so heady, and you want to feel more grounded in your body? Do you want to feel more energized throughout the day when you get up? That was one of my issues. I had issues with being highly groggy in the mornings. And so I started using orange or peppermint. And actually, um, there's an orange peppermint blend, I think with tangerine, that I have in the PDFs for one of the essential oil blends for you to start off with. I gave you a few so you can pick through those, and they're good starters. And then just if you're someone who's been working with oils for years, you can create your own. But this class should give you some foundations on where to go, especially with the personality types and why you were going there with those particular oils. So you may need alone time to evaluate your emotional dynamics. Some of us don't get enough alone time to really truly understand how important that is, just to be alone with your emotions and see what you're feeling, see what you're saying about yourself to yourself. You know, that's one of the worst things out there. Yes, other people can throw their energies or say things to you that you think about and they may affect your mood, but nothing affects your mood so much as what you are saying to yourself on a regular basis. What kind of speech and language are you talking to yourself? Is it a love language, or it is a love hate language, where one day you're up about yourself and you love yourself, and then the next day you're beating yourself down? Things to think about as you create your emotions management kit, because you want to go for the thing that stands out the most, and then everything else is kind of like a layer that you're going to peel off a little at a time. So, from being around others regularly, the energies of our environment now and prior to may all need to be emotionally assessed to understand yourself and others better. So, check out your surroundings, see if when certain movies or people are around that your mood shifts. How does it shift? And I suggest taking notes and having a journal of this while you're going through this transition and setting up how to manage your emotions. It is said at least 50% of the energies, which include emotions that we experience, is not even our own. They're from our environment and the people around us and emotions that have already been there for a while. Learning to distinguish your energy from others around you is essential to maintaining healthy emotions. Take this time for yourself and for those that are in your life and will be in your life in the future. Again, all possibilities open to you when you learn to manage your emotions. Emotions are energy in motion, and they go out and they send messages, and what you are sending out and putting out into the world, and it just as much as what you're exposing yourself to, is so important that it opens up all the possibilities if you know what to do, how to manage them, and to keep them in your favor instead of working against you. And I know all of us out there can relate to that. You know, when you're unaware and unconscious of what's spewing and going around, um, and energetically in your own field and just around you in life, it's hard to know what is causing what and why you're not getting the results that you want. But when you slow down and realize that your emotional body is what is going to manifest and bring to you, because it has such a charge to it. Your emotions are so charged. This is definitely part of the laws of attraction. You need that charge to bring in what you want. But if the charge is unconsciously working against you, you're constantly bringing in the things that you don't want into your life. So again, all possibilities open to you when you learn to manage your emotions. I hope you found this class to be helpful in helping you to put together your emotions management system to take control of your happiness and your well-being. You find my references here and some of the stuff I just remembered from over the years of using essential oils and teaching essential oils and emotions class. And you will be able to find recipes in the PDF that I am going to attach. And thank you very much. You can stay in touch with me. My website is here. You also see I have a podcast, How to Heal, where I talk about all these different types of things about basically finding your way to heal in life. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I also have my email here. And I look forward to answering any questions that you may have in the Q&A. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to connecting with you.